Today, we are going deep into a series of ancient and, frankly, pretty intense prophecies about the fate of Iraq. These come from a work known as the Great Jaffer. And let me tell you, this isn't just a history lesson. It's a foretold story of chaos, war, and, well, weapons that seem to come from a totally different time. So let's get right into it. And we start right at the heart of it all. This one line sets a seriously dark tone. It frames this entire bloody sequence of events as just a prelude. It's the violent stage setting for the arrival of a final major figure. The prophecy is saying the conquest of Iraq isn't the end. No, it's the beginning of the end. So before we even get to the big battles and the epic figures, the prophecies talk about a period of, well, internal decay. And this is a really key takeaway. The texts seem to suggest that before any major external enemy can take over, a nation has to become weak from the inside first. A kind of political and social rot has to set in. Now, what's really wild here is the sheer speed and instability it describes. A ruler comes to power, and his reign is said to last no longer than an hour. I mean, that's obviously a poetic way of saying things are incredibly fragile. He's immediately followed by his son, and then, bam, power shifts again, this time to a group called the Nabataeans of falsehood who take over the south. This isn't a stable government. It's a picture of a frantic, chaotic collapse. And this political chaos is perfectly mirrored by widespread disaster. The narrations lay out a whole timeline of suffering. It describes a period of terrible affliction and drought that ends with a direct strike on Baghdad. Then the timeline jumps forward, and we get more calamities, earthquakes, and some kind of mysterious, deadly incident. You get this picture of a land just being hammered by both man-made and natural disasters for a long, long time.
So you've got this country weakened by all this internal fighting and disaster, and the stage is now set for new, terrifying figures to walk right in. This is where the story escalates from internal decay to an all-out, brutal war. And it's signaled by some very specific, very grim signs.
70,000. That's the number of people a single man described only as having yellow eyes is prophesied to kill at a bridge. That's not a battle. That's a straight-up massacre. It's an act of violence so shocking that it signals a complete break from everything that came before, kicking off a whole new level of terror. And that single act seems to unleash, well, this. It's like a rapid-fire list of coming disasters. The descending one, the flying one, the connected, the destructive. Each name promises a totally different kind of horror. It's designed to feel overwhelming, right? Like an inescapable storm of bad things is about to break over everyone. And this is the turning point. Out of all that chaos, a demonic voice is said to scream out, announcing the arrival of the story's main villain, the Sufyani. The prophecy says he shows up with an army of 100,000 men. He's not just another warlord. His arrival is framed as this huge cosmic event, a declaration that a new dark power has just taken the stage. So, with the Sufyani now on the board, the conflict gets organized. It becomes a methodical invasion. This whole section is about his brutal and strategic military campaign as he marches his army right into the heart of Iraq.
You know, the prophecies lay out his invasion route with chilling detail. You can literally trace it here on the map. He starts from his power base in Damascus with 70,000 troops. He pushes into Iraq, makes a strategic move to cut off the land between Jalula and Kanakin. From there, he descends on the ancient city of Kufa, and then continues what the text calls a tour of the major cities, including Basra. It's a disciplined, terrifying, and effective advance.
And the nature of this invasion is just described with this stark, brutal phrase. It's not just about winning battles or taking territory. That language, slaughtering as a ram is slaughtered, it gives you this feeling of cold, pitiless, almost industrial-scale violence. This is a campaign of extermination, not just conquest. But right when it looks like all is lost, the script flips. As the Sufyani is carving this path of destruction, the protagonist of these prophecies, the Mahdi, starts to assemble his own forces. This is the counter-move. It's the gathering of a coalition to stand up and confront the chaos head-on. And check this out. Unlike the chaotic mess we saw at the beginning, the Mahdi's army is described as this highly organized multinational force. You've got ministers from Hamadan, soldiers from Qualin, helpers from Himyar. The point is the incredible detail. They even name the leaders of the vanguard and the rearguard.
This isn't some random mob. The prophecy is going out of its way to show us that this is a structured, disciplined army rising up to meet the chaos.
The prophecies also talk about signs that confirm his authority. One of the most famous is this one about the Euphrates River pulling back to reveal a hidden treasure. But here's the really important part. The prophecy says nobody else can get it. It's specifically reserved for the Mahdi. It's a really powerful symbol of his divine right to the land.
Okay, so everything up to now has been pretty intense. But this next part is where things get truly mind-bending. The texts start describing weapons with a destructive power that would have been completely unimaginable when they were written. This is where ancient prophecies seems to collide with modern terror. And it all starts with this question. The text says a rock will be hit by something called the egg of destruction, right as the Sufyani appears. But what is it? I mean, the name itself is so cryptic, so mysterious, and honestly, deeply unsettling. The original text only makes it more mysterious. It says the secret of this weapon is known only to Ali, that he understands its true nature. But look at the warning. Woe to peoples from it, Arabs and non-Arabs. This isn't just a local threat. The text is saying this is a weapon that poses a danger to everyone on Earth. And here is where the ancient text gets interpreted through a modern lens. The commentator, Muhammad bin Dawood, he looks at this description, a shell containing this massive destructive force inside, and he concludes there can be only one modern equivalent, the bomb, in all its forms. This one interpretation just collapses centuries of time and makes this prophecy feel terrifyingly relevant.
But believe it or not, it gets even weirder. The text describes Ali repeating this line over and over. Oh, what a wonder, all the wonder. He's so stunned by what he foresees that he can barely even describe it. This repetition just builds this incredible sense of suspense. I mean, what could possibly be so wondrously awful that it leaves him almost speechless? And then the horrifying reveal. The reason he's so amazed is this completely surreal, nightmarish image. The dead drinking the heads of the living in Iraq. It's just a completely bizarre and unnatural description. It sounds like something out of a horror movie. What on earth could that possibly mean?
Once again, the commentator offers a chillingly modern interpretation. He argues this bizarre imagery can only be one thing, a description of the aftermath of a nuclear or atomic strike. The dead is the poisoned, irradiated Earth itself. And the drinking of heads, well, that represents the deadly, invisible effects of massive radiation and fallout. But the egg of destruction isn't the final word. The prophecies say that the Mahdi has an answer. He has his own ultimate weapon. And it's called the Screamer. It's positioned as the force that will finally bring this whole conflict to an end. And just listen to how its power is described. It has the sound of an earthquake. It eats the heads of humans like the vomiting of a volcano. It flies high in the sky and then comes down with a fire so absolute it does not spare and does not leave. This isn't just a weapon of war anymore. It's a weapon of total, undeniable power.
And this is where it all ends. After seeing the power of the Screamer, the opposing king asks for a truce. But the Mahdi doesn't negotiate. He refuses. He dictates the terms. And that final line serves as the ultimate warning. If you betray this, he will demolish your entire country and make its highest parts its lowest. It's a final, absolute statement of authority, a prophecy that ends not with a negotiation, but with total submission.